Hello and welcome. I'm Bill Wake. We're here working on, well, we're just starting working on a game called Dungeons and Patterns. It's one that Steve Metzger and I put together years ago to work on, to work about design patterns, to help you learn about design patterns. And what I'm hoping to do with this project, it's kind of a mix of software and not software, I guess. One thing is I want to get this game organized. Um, I don't know, it's been years since I taught it, and Steve, unfortunately, has been dead for a number of years as well, so he hasn't been teaching it, at least around here. We've got this game that was originally designed to be kind of a role-playing game in person. I'd like to move it online, and I want to use that as a mechanism to kind of play with Elm, use and learn it, and then share the game with others. All right, so what is Dungeons and Patterns? Okay, it's a role-playing game about design patterns. It's got a number of pieces that we pulled together to support a group doing this. There's a pattern master guide, there's a picture book, there's some maps, there's other documents, and we'll see all that. So how does the game work? Well, you get a small team that works together. The action's going to take place in a dungeon or cave, described, okay, not a real one. You run into these situations or puzzles. There's a pattern master who, by analog to the dungeon master in Dungeons and Dragons, has the guidebook that's not shared with the team, and they'll describe this, describe what the situation is, and then the team can try things till it understands the behavior of what's going on in that cave. And once it does, it can try and relate that to a design pattern. And if you do, you can move on to the next room or whatever. Various things may happen. Okay, so what we've got to start with is I've got a pile of documents, probably multiple piles, but I think I've got the latest one. Pictures drawn by Steve and me. It's not very organized, and I'd like to kind of get that thing pulled together in a way we can use it, and then develop some code, some sort of Elm program. I'm thinking like we start with some sort of navigation and then work on more of the puzzle aspect of things. And we'll go from there. So normally I would jump to the IDE and we'd get going coding, but it's just not going to be that kind of project. All right, so I think I've got GitHub here. I'm going to make a new repository for this thing. Okay, so it's not public at this point, but we'll work with it. Okay. Dungeons and Patterns game. I guess we'll probably need a git ignore. Is it home on the list? Sure enough. Okay. I'm going to hold off on the license. I'm not quite sure what we're going to do there. All right, main is the default branch. That's good. Anything else? Okay. All right, so we've got that. Normally, yeah, let's see. Let's go ahead and create that on here. Okay, so where am I? We got so far, we got the to do. Okay, so let's clone this. Okay, and I'm gonna say we move to do in there just to kind of get us going. Okay, and let's cd here. Sorry about that. Okay. All right, so we've got basically nothing here but a to do, and let me see. Let's see. Get a chat window going if I can over here. All right, now I'm a little puzzled by this. Let's see this thing. Oh, okay. Okay, something's not quite right. Normally I get the Chiron based on the first line of this file. Okay, so all we've got is git ignore. Okay, Elm stuff, rebel tab. All right, let's see, do I have a folder? Well, I did. Okay, I'll put that on desk 3. Okay, it's the wrong one. Oh dear, where did that get to? I don't get history, do I? I think there's one from like February that looked like the right place. I'm not sure where it was. That looked pretty. No, sure. See this? No, this. Right. Well, let's see what we got here. That's definitely not the one I was looking at before. This might do it. Okay. So let's move this one. Let's get over to desktop, Twitch, DNP. All right, so one thing I want to do is get my images organized. All right, so I'm just going to make a folder images. I don't know if I'm picking up the right things or not. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy all the pictures from left to right. Okay, and these pictures are sort of the contents of each room. Okay, there. Well, that didn't go where I wanted. I don't even know what a PDD file is. Is that some sort of scanner thing? There we go. Okay, let me show you what these are. So basically these numbered ones, the number corresponds to a room. And each room has something in it. Now, I don't know, these names shouldn't give away the answer, but basically you're going to look at this and the idea is there'll be a little description, but you're going to say, I'm going to do something. Well, you could pick up the box, shake the box, say my name, say something, hit the button. Seems like an obvious thing to try. So you hit the button, and I think in this case it creates a box that looks identical and also says say my name and has a button on it, and you can hit that and so on. And eventually something in the description hopefully triggers you to say prototype. And the prototype pattern sort of creates new objects by cloning the existing one. All right. And we have various ones for each thing. Okay, so what I'm going to do, okay, I got 1A through 1G, and then 2A through H, and then 3. All right, now we made multiple versions of this, so there's another version that has these. Put these in here too. I don't know, something is just weird. I've seen Brian Merrick's complaints lately on Twitter about drag and drop not acting how he wanted, and I thought, well, it seems okay for me, but I'm demonstrating that's not true. All right, let's get kind. I don't know. How do you open a PDD file? Let's see if I've got a. Let's. PDF, PDD, what it is. Photo Deluxe. Well, that's an old tool. To Word. I don't know that I want that. Let's see if I can open it with Adobe. Maybe I can open with Preview. Let's see what we got. No, Adobe doesn't want it. Preview doesn't want it. Okay. I hate to lose information. But on the other hand, files I can't do anything with, I don't think I'm going to care about. Those are all PDD documents. I'm not going to delete them out of the full. They're still existing on the left side, so this is really just the ones from this side. Okay, I don't remember what this one is. Okay, bunch of things, channels. Okay. Now, TIFF sounds like a scan. That's the 2C observer. All right. Let's see what this means. Two. That looks like the other one. Okay, so like I said, there's some organization to do. There's some inconsistency. But and I probably want to do some renames because I don't want to reveal the name of these things in there. Okay, that's weird. Okay, so some of these, I mean, these had junk in them, so I'm gonna knock them out. And I'm gonna take the B2 off, and I think I'm gonna try and make the names a little more consistent. Now, GIF format's probably a bad choice, you know. I've long lost the papers we drew in the first place. But let me just do this cleanup. We'll just take a picture of each one. Oh, there's something. I don't know. There's something weird going on. They're all not trashed. All right, that we can edit out. Oh. Yeah, something in the conversion has messed up something. All right, well, we'll keep going. Oh, so disappointing. Okay. Well, let me deal with the name. Sure. And I don't think that's giving me anything different, so. I realize this isn't the usual programming. Feels weird, but the work's got to get done. Some of these seem okay. But you saw I've got about 20 versions of everything, so I can probably find one that's not trashed. Plausible, a little messed up. Good. Messed up. That should be state. Or maybe strategy. Now it's kind of odd the names are chopped off too. Yeah, I think the names are going to have to, they're going to have to describe the picture, not the pattern. Because they may end up getting revealed somewhere in a link or something, and don't want to. Okay, I got some JPEGs. Potions again. Hearts again. A little bit of duplication there. Okay. Document. What the heck? Well, a TIFF is probably the original scanned one, so that may be worth keeping. I don't know that that's. I don't know where that came from. Doesn't look like my friend drew it, and I know I didn't. Okay. Gosh, some of these JPEGs are quite large, aren't they? All right, let's see what we got. Well, pretty high res there for what it is. Yeah, very high res. Okay, well, I don't know. That's not a bad thing these days. Let's see this. 2 by 1200. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to know. It's 2. Let's take a look here. right. How can I find? Let's go look at that view. Okay, so let's see what's bad. Okay, composite. Want to see composite. Looks like another directory with pictures. And something in the writing convinced us we should update it, I guess. Okay. Let's see what else we have. I'll try some of these. Okay, well, that's a little weird. I would think you would need more pictures. I think that must have been a trimmed down version. Let's try this one. Yeah, there must have been some drawing program we used that lets you erase it, but it left some tracks. We may have to do some image repair to. Oh, there's one that's semi-fixed. I mean, we can edit that maybe. Okay. Well, I don't know. It's a mix of a little bit of handwriting and drawing, just because of. Okay. All right. So what can we do? All right. So I've got a bunch of images. That's something. All right, and I have no clue what I'm doing on the Elm side, so that's maybe worth a little something too. Let's see what else we have for content kind of things. There should be a pattern master document. Let's see if we've got. Okay. All right, so this is going to have the smaller things, but so if you're the pattern master, when they go in the room, you're going to describe it. There's an organ with dozens of levers, keys, and foot pedals. There's a pair of spectacles on the floor. All right, and then if they play this organ, so then we have notes like what happens if they try it. Okay, so they say we play the organ, all right, and the PM will read this and say, okay, I see. You play the organ well, you get a horrible sound, just sounds terrible. All right, they don't have to use the exact words, all right. And then if the spectacles are worn, then the person wearing the spectacles can see levers, pedals, and keys that light up. And if they play them as they're lit, the organ makes beautiful music. Okay. And the goal is that we interpret this as a facade pattern. You know that they see, you know, sort of providing a simple interface to something that looks very complex, and the simple interface in this case is just, you know, you can only make certain moves. You know, they're there. All right, and so every picture has a description. Some of these are a little bit kind of words, but that's the way it goes. All right, and then you can, once you answer enough stuff, you go to level 2, and more pictures, and eventually, if you solve both levels, you get to level 3, and that's cool. All right, so my notion is I'm going to take some of these description things and um, I'm envisioning a page with the description on the left and the picture on the right, and then some buttons of some sort or somethings on the bottom that we can interact with. All right, and I have no idea. So if I let me make an Elmder. Do I want to do an Elmder? Just do it right here. We'll do it here. Okay, so I know you can say Elm init. Let's see what happens. Start with elm.json. What will be in this file? How do I do things? Yeah, I don't know any of that. Okay, but I know we want to create it. Okay. More elm.json. Okay, so I'm running Elm version 19. Is that current? No. Let's, somewhere we have a window. Okay. Well, I guess if we did the installer, we'll learn something. Okay, create a source directory for us. Let's close this. Yes, it did. All right. Yeah, we have Elm Reactor. That's something. I think we have to compile something, don't we? Yeah. All right, let's get back to usually I kind of use TextMate for this stuff. I probably should just open the whole folder with it, or at least the source. All right, what's that going to tell us? All right, Elm-init, create some stuff. Create a source main.elm, copy code from the buttons example. Okay. Well, that's got a little minimal thing going. Okay. How are we doing there, TextMate? I don't know. I had this project of trying to build a compiler for Elm or an interpreter, and didn't really finish. I mean, I kind of learned some Elm syntax out of it, but haven't used it in a real project in a while. Or I've never used it in a real project, but I had a couple personal projects going with it. One was around a mountain dulcimer and kind of a chord finder sort of thing. It interested me and I was enjoying it, but it definitely Definitely had a ways to go. All right, I'm a little puzzled why this is so slow. Okay, well, let's do things old school here. Source, we'll take that example and do what we can with it. Okay. So their advice was copy main Elm. We can start up Elm reactor. I guess I'll allow it. Localhost 8000. All right, well, wasn't quite the view I had in mind, but I guess it's something. Oh, it's running it. Well, that's kind of cool. Browser on HTML. Okay. Source directory. Okay, well, let's... Still no text made. All right, let's try something else. All right, let's try well, this is spooky. Where is this thing? Not responding. All right, we'll open with all right, so buttons to increment and decrement. And it seemed like Reactor interpreted or compiled already. All right, so anyway, I don't know if you've used Elm or if you're even newer than me to it. We've got to define several things. They have a particular architecture style, somewhat like React. Maybe, I don't know, I'm not sure which inspired which, but the idea is that you have a main program. It's going to run in your browser. You're going to give it an initial state. You're going to give it a function that can update things, and you're going to give it a function that can view things. So this is sort of a recordy kind of thing with 3 fields. All right, now we're saying a model, in our case, is just going to be an integer. So we've kind of limited things. So let's take a look at update. So update says, you give me a message and a model, and I'll give you a model. And view says, you give me a model and I'll give you HTML and a new message. Okay. So the model is just an integer. It starts out as 0. And there's 2 messages we can send. Okay. The display is create a div, throw in a button with text minus, a div with text that's the string version of the model, and another button. All right, so let's go back to, let's pull this window on the other screen. Okay. Can't do that. How weird, right? Pull this over there. Desktop 3. Okay, so if we run main.elm, we see we got a minus and a plus. Okay, so when we click increment, okay, so basically when you click on the button, you get an increment. Increment is one of our messages. All right, so messages are the action triggers that are coming in, and the HTML is just the stuff for display. Okay, so I'm not sure how to get things initialized. Or where they're even looking for things. All right, but I'm just exploring at this point. All right, so let me duplicate. Well, I guess we can always get it back from the main page. All right, so what do we need? Well, I'm not going to worry about the message right now, the model update. I'm going to worry about the view. Okay, so I mean, this one, just to finish off the discussion, the update is, you know, I tell you the message and I tell you the current model, you give me the new model. And so the architecture piece of this thing is, you know, display the view, okay, for whatever message you give me, and, you know, to accommodate whatever message. And that gives me back this HTML. I've said I want HTML model, HTML displays. And display that, and then if a message comes in, like some action triggers a message on click increment, do an update. So try and find out what should the new model be. Excuse me. So given the message increment on the model that started at 0, well, we should create a model. Updating that should give us a model plus 1. Our model is just an integer, okay, so we're returning 1. 0 plus 1 is 1, and that's the new model for this thing. So we take that model then and run it through the view, and it says, okay, draw a button minus, draw a text. Oh, model is now 1, draws a 1, and then a button plus, all right, and ready for the next message. So this is sort of the framework side of it, or the architecture side of it, handles calling these functions. You just say, how do I update a model? How do I display a model? And in that sense, it's pretty simple. Where I think it gets a little messy is, you know, like this is great for simple models. The more complex your model gets, the more kind of confusing it is. And yet, you know, it's kind of a nice division. So we'll see. All right. So what I want to try and do is I want to get my stuff on there. So let me just try this. You put your commas in front here. All right, so what I want to do is an image. And my recollection is you do source and then the name of the file. And I don't know, I'm going to try images slash. And let's just find our first one, 1aprotot.gif. 1aprotot.gif. Does that look right? 1a protot.gif. Okay. And then this second one is the body. If you have certain tags, take inner tags and so on. Image does not, I don't think. At least I'm not going to use it if it does. Okay. So now I should be able to save this. My hope is this thing. Let's go back. Okay, so my hope is this. I'll just say reload just to make sure. Okay, there we go. Something is there. All right. I think the deal is I probably haven't imported it. All right, so let's see. Where's Adam? Okay. Module main, module this. Notice I don't have image in that list. So let's make an image. And then I guess we can bounce back here. Can I just reload this? Okay. Well, that's kind of coming. All right. I'll tell you what. Let's take a break. We've been going a while. I'll go find some reference material on this and see what I can do. And we'll come back and see if we can get an image displaying. That would be a step forward. All right. Thanks. See you in 2 or 3 minutes. Welcome back. Okay, let's start looking at documentation because, you know, we're gonna be there for a while, I think. Okay, I see some stuff on web apps. And I don't think that's quite it. Well, let's go back. Guide. Sounds promising. That's where we were. Okay. Buttons, text fields, and forms. Okay. There's some buttons. I'd really like to find the reference manual for stuff. Beginner examples. Packages, maybe. Okay, yeah, we're in Elm HTML. All right, there's div, HTML, image. Okay, it takes a list of attributes and a list of HTML messages, which is more HTML. It produces an HTML. Can we go in? Oh, you're not going to tell me the attributes, are you? All right. Guess I'll look here. Let's look for source. String goes to attribute. For audio image. Okay. Now, I really like the book Elm in Action, by the way, so can recommend that. Image source in quotes, width and height, yeah, and no body. No body at the start because we're trying HTML node. All the attributes go in the second list. There should be an empty list and for image elements. I think that's the one. Yeah. Okay. So make sure images at the start. I don't know. That seems like what I have. Or what I recall I have. Okay. Image source quotes. Now, if it didn't like this string, I'd be okay. All right. What do we got? I cannot find a source variable. Image source. That contradicts what I'm seeing here. Source seems to be a known attribute. This example, image, source image, this, that. I mean, that seems... All right, let's put this on desk 4. Image, source, this. Doesn't like the source. We have to pull. What about these things? Text, on click. And import HTML event. So I guess I got to do the same. Import HTML attributes, exposing source. Okay, we're getting there. I want to parse exposed values, but I'm getting stuck here. Exposed values are always surrounded by parentheses. Elm's famous for trying to give you helpful messages. Okay, now my image, it's not finding it. Let's try dot dot. I think that's the problem. It doesn't know where the image is. Let's look at source. Failed to load resource. Okay. And this is all the translated Elm with its stuff. I don't know, I should be able to get a better description than this. Server respond. Oh, the server is probably not happy to look outside. All right, let's move things around a little. Let's go ahead and put the images. I don't know. Do you think images could be right there? All right. Reactor can't. All right, let's try the experiment, I guess. That's probably faster. Let's give it an images folder. Now, where's that thing really running? You would think the inspector would tell me this somehow. I'm missing something. Dot dot's lost images. I mean, where's maybe the dot dot's not correct? Server responded 404. Okay. I mean, I don't know where it thinks it's looking. But, okay, I'll give it a shot. Folder. Images. Made. Well, okay. I didn't expect that, but all right. Wow. So maybe, I mean, my things seem to be more landscapey than not. All right, so let's take out some stuff. Okay, I think. Well, let's move this down anyway. Trying to get the elm style. I think this is closer to it. So the brackets and commas line up. They start on the start of the line so you can not miss them. Okay, so let's try width 75%. See how that does. Width is not, oh, because I don't import it. I don't know. I'm gonna do something they tell you not to do. Needs the first argument to be that. Oh, that's unfortunate. All right, let's go to the documentation. Elm width has got to be an int. Cool. Okay. Really, this should be done by the HTML anyway, probably, or the CSS rather. Okay, so I'm going to say the class is main image, and the source is that. Okay, and I don't know how I get a CSS reference, but we'll let it go. Okay, now I don't need the words, the model there. I'm just going to ignore the model. Okay, and I gotta think through. Well, I don't know what the deal is going to be. Okay. Well, one thing I would like is it would be nice if it would be nice if the images came from somewhere and I could increment and go through them. I'm thinking I'm going to do stuff on the single page kind of thing and just update pictures in place. I don't know what will happen, but let's try it. So I'm going to leave this text plus or minus thing, increment, decrement. Actually, let's kind of do this. It's going back and going forward. All right, and then let's make images. Okay, images is type list of string. Images equals, and I think I can just make a list. Let's do this. And I know I'm not doing things the right way at this point. I'm thinking of putting the images, and if you click the button up, it goes to the next one, and down goes to the one around. Well, let's just go here. What's the next name? All right, so let's move these. Place. Okay. We'll take 1B proxy. Okay. All right. And this is how my life is with Elm. Let's see. It's looking up every little thing because I just don't remember. I don't think I got a cheat sheet, but I don't think it's going to tell me what I want. All right, so a list is objects of the same type, and that's what we have. It doesn't show. I don't know how I access. See, these aren't all cross-linked, so we've got to go back. HTML. Elm browser, I don't think that's it. Elm bytes and core, that sounds promising. List. Okay, you create it like that. I really just want to get the nth item. Member. Head and tail it's good at. Well, maybe I want the other thing. Let's try array. You create arrays. Value. From list, I guess. Get int array. Maybe a. Okay, well, we're going to get into that right quick, aren't we? Okay, so I think I got to say array from list. Give it the list. That'll be step forward. Where we got from list? Okay. Now I want this to be, well, golly. What I want it to be is images. Well, from list. Okay. Yeah, I want get model. So images is the array, get model, and then the problem is that's returning a just. And I try to remember if I can, there's probably a way to get Well, just is part of the maybe. Okay, so maybe says this thing is either just a or nothing. All right, and okay, I can convert it with default. Okay, with default something, do a get. All right, corresponding thing here is with default images slash, I gotta pick another one. I don't know. Maybe I'm doing this the slow way. 2m-pets.gif. 2m-capital pets. Okay. All right. So what I'm saying is, here's a bunch of images. If what I want you to do is use the source to be take. If all else fails, I'm going to return 2m-pets, but I'm going to try and do get model images. So that should give me the index of the image in the list. All right, save. Let's see what happens. Okay. Oh, I didn't say maybe. I didn't say get. Okay. Array.from list. That's 3 strikes. All right. I can say maybe dot. Maybe with default. Okay. Import declarations. I cannot find a get variable. These seem close. Well, I think it's array. I think I'm just heading towards maybe one fewer message. All right. I cannot find an array import. Oh, so I have to import those. Okay, and this was import core exposing array. And maybe. It makes you aware of your dependencies for sure. I thought it was called core. Oh, maybe I just import maybe? Those are the modules. Okay. Import array exposing from list and get. Import maybe exposing with default. And I wish I had an Elm environment. Okay. Okay. Images should be an array of string. Something's off with the Bonnie. Save. Cannot find an array type. Images? What did it say about arrays? Type array. Now, I think this can come off, but can't find an array type. I guess I gotta give the name here. Bling. Okay, and my buttons. So if I do this, I should go to the next picture. And if I do this, I should go to pets because I'm out of range. Yeah. I mean, obviously these pictures. Okay, this is still out of range. Back to out of range. Back to the one. And let me zoom in a little. All right. And back to the other, and then back to pets if I duck up too far. Okay. Whew. Well, that's something anyway. Okay. Where are we going from here? All right. Well, we've got something that displays things and goes forward and back. It's ugly. Let's see how we get a CSS file in there. CSS. Well, kind of not answers. I honestly feel like it should be. Should be an easy way to do it, and this all looks hard, or at least messy. CSS patterns. The problem is there's. Okay, import CSS. I kind of don't want to do all this in Elm. I don't know. HTML CSS. All right, where's the modules? Let's see what we got. Here. I don't know. That sounds not so good either. Reactor. Let's try Elm CSS in file. Or how about Elm link to CSS? Browser.elm. I didn't see those words there. Elm init document. Elm live. I don't know what that is. Well, that kind of seems like what we want. But I don't see how it puts the CSS in. So I'm hoping Elm Live is some sort of automatic updating kind of thing. Yeah, library loading. It's not easy. Okay. Type the whole thing to with style. Okay. Let's see. I'm going to go over here, start a new one. Let's do desktop / Twitch / DNP. Okay, I got source. Yeah, so that should run here. Let's see what happens. Now, I think what that does. Okay, those are a bunch of pets. Let's make some obvious change. Okay, I'm going to do a, let's see, am I looking at the right page? All right, so I'm going to do a save here and see if this auto reboots. Okay, that did not automatically do anything. But it did do that, and this is running. Oh, wait. New packages are needed. Do you approve of the plan? Sure. Okay, cannot find modular browser. Okay, that's not working. I'll go back to it. New field. Module browser. Do I use it? Yes. Okay, let's kill this for now. Okay, so what was that answer? We have to do a bunch of stuff. We have to create. Well, that's the easy way there. Okay, let's do this stuff. I think we got, yeah, we don't have this one. Okay. We've made it with style, and then we pipe this into it. Believe is the deal, right? Node style text CSS import. Well, URL, let's just do let's just put one here. Go back here. Okay. Let's see. Okay, I'm gonna have to find CSS. I really just want the explanation of the options on width. Max width, that's probably good. With 50%, so I can do that here. All right, and I think I called the class main image. All right, so I'm just going to do dot main image here. Did that do anything? Let's see. I want the view actual size. Well, it sure doesn't look like it did anything. Style DNP.css. Import URL DNP.css. I would have thought that would put that up somewhere. CSS. What's an optional image that will make me very clear that I've got it in place? Well, opacity would do it. Well, centered is probably what I want as well, so let me add that. Sometimes you can force the redraws. Well, that doesn't look like opacity 30% to me, so I'm not thinking my thing is actually doing anything. Okay, has one render? No. It's not easy. Conserve CSS files. You can write a custom HTML file that links to the CSS. Load the HTML file, but you have to generate the Elm.js outside of Reactor. It is not automatically rebuilt. You have to do it in the Elm program itself. Here's an example. Okay, so maybe I'm not really running until I go in here. Does that force the compile? Well, oh. Okay. Interesting. Let's try this. Okay. Well, we're due for a break. Let's take a break. Come back and see what we can figure out on this HTML, CSS stuff, and go from there. See you in a couple. Welcome back. I'm peeking around trying to figure out something else on this. I did restart the reactor, and that appears to do nothing differently. Elm.js is generated by Elm and then load the HTML file in Elm Reactor. But you have to generate the HTML Elm.js outside of Reactor. That seems like what we're doing. Okay, let's make sure we just have a div, nothing, no attributes, one content. Let's see what our code looks like. Div, no attributes, one, oh, that's not that one. Div, no attributes, one content. I guess my formatting could be a little better, but shouldn't change it. We don't look that different. Class something. Let's make sure I got that right. Class main image. Source. All right, let's see this thing again. Let's look at the contents. Main image. Okay, so unfortunately everything is kind of compiled into this giant thing. Elm attributes class main image. Attribute source is pets.gif. Yeah, it's with the default and all that stuff. I mean, it's kind of a, I would say, Lisp-like but maybe not quite. um, well, it seemed to find that I had these two separate attributes, so that seems like a good thing. Well, let's try taking that off. Let's do it more generally. Um, let's take this out for now. Okay, so every image should get this. And I'm going to stop this, restart it. Go back to the dashboard. Hit reload. CSS has updated. Main.elm does not appear to do it. I don't want this to be my sticking point. I guess I could copy this. Name equals. That seems odd. Okay, so we're throwing away all the init stuff and all that stuff. We're just trying to get a couple buttons with some style. A with class button. And let's put an image in. Wow. Quick guess. Source is and the body is empty. Oops. Empty. Primary info is in there. I don't see the other thing. Class button is info. Now, is that's kind of weird. Oh, primary and then info. Okay, they're both there. He is definitely not styled right. Okay, one more try. Let's go back to the internet. Yeah. HTML node, create a style tag. You can apply a CSS rule to the body. Okay. Oh, yeah, this is all. Yeah, I really didn't want to do it in Elm. CSS button. Oh, jeez. Maybe I gotta get Elm Live working. Does Elm Live deal with Reactor? That's the real thing. Elm Live versus Reactor. Do you need them both? I don't know. Elm install Elm URL. I don't really care about this part. Elm Record doesn't know how to open single page apps. Okay. Development server knows how to use route users. Well, I appear to have it. Never mind, maybe I shouldn't be running Reactor at the same time. That's probably part of it. Elm Live may not on push state. Package is updated. Open file does not exist. Main.elm. Well, it sure seems to. Oh, I'm up a level. I need to be up a level. Find module browser. Need to add a source or dependency to elm package.json. I don't remember an elm package.json being there. Can I open a directory? No, that's not. Okay. Let's see. I guess what we're trying to do is, or well, what have we done? We copied images files from directory to the Git repo. And which kind of reminds me, I should, let's do it, let's push that before we go further. All right, but what we're doing now is, well, we also got, well, we can display an image and move forward or back. Okay, but what we're doing now, we're trying to get, well, get CSS working. That's what we're working on. Okay, and to do that, I think what we're trying to do is get Elm Live working. Okay. I do have Elm package.json. NC's core, but I don't have a browser. All right. Back to this. Browser. Seems like a blank. Okay, browser. Browser. Elm browser 102. Let's try that. Can I just do that, I think? We enter to invalid construct. Should look like this. Nothing. I don't know. Doesn't exist. Let's try it more like that, eh? Okay. I thought this would automatically update. Couldn't I find Elm/browser? Well, I don't know how I get it installed. What does Elm/core look like? Elm/core. And we say Elm/lang/core, so maybe this is Elm/lang/browser. Seems kind of weird. I don't know if I even saved. Elm stuff. Let's see. How about update Elm package.json? How am I doing that? It's already installed. Could not find package online. Let's save that again. Remove the Elm browser from elm.json. Maybe I got it in there. Elm.json. Remove the Elm browser. Cannot find it. Elm package. Elm core, and it says Elm lang. I feel like I've been here. Same issue. Okay. Well, the solution suggested was delete Elm stuff. Let's try that. Stop this thing. Okay, now run reactor. I'm just not seeing anything that looks like browser in there. Second. Yeah. All right. Well, I'm a little disappointed I couldn't get that working, but we'll figure it out. I'm going to stop here for today, and we'll pick up again Sunday, 1 to 3 p.m. Eastern Time. And I don't know how much I want to fight these to get my CSS in just now. But I think the thing we're going to start doing, I'd like to get tests set up, and then somehow I want this information to be more in a sort of map structure or some sort of data structure that I can kind of move through as we, move room to room. And that's a little more sophisticated than just plus or minus one. So it'll be worth looking at some more. But thanks for joining me today, and hope you enjoyed it, and catch you in the future. Bye-bye.